Welcome students. In the previous class, what we have seen is differentiation, the process of differentiation, redifferentiation and dedifferentiation. How the cells after they grow, they differentiate, they are given a specific task to perform, then they lose their ability to divide. And in some cases, under certain conditions, the cells which has lost their ability to divide, they will again become meristematic and gain their ability to divide. So that process is called as dedifferentiation, and after gaining their ability to divide, the cells will again divide and then again differentiate. Then that process is called as redifferentiation. So in the starting we have said that development of plant from that is zygote to a mature plant is dependent on two stages. One is growth and another is differentiation. That is development of a plant from a zygote takes place in two stages. The first stage is growth and the second stage is differentiation. We have seen what is growth, that is increase in number of cells, because of which the mass and the size of the organisms will increase. It is an irreversible increase. Then we also have seen what is differentiation. Now let us sum up all that process. So what is development? Development is a term that includes all the changes an organism goes through its life cycle. Development is nothing but the changes which organism undergoes right from zygote till it becomes a mature plant. The changes an organism undergoes right from the formation of zygote till a plant matures. So in between this, from formation of zygote, after formation of zygote till a plant matures, many processes takes place. So the undergoing of all those processes in an ordered sequence from zygote till it becomes a mature plant, that whole process is called as what? Development. That whole process is called as development. So here first the seeds will germinate, we sow the seeds will germinate, then a small seedling will be coming from it, then after seedling plantlet will come, then it will change into a plant, it will grow, it will grow into, that is different leaves and all the structures will be formed, then the plant will grow in size, then it produce flowers, fruits and all, it goes all those stages. Undergoing of all those stages is termed as development. So let us sum up the development. What is it? In a diagrammatic form. Here, first the cells, the zygote produces meristematic cells. Zygote divides and produces cells. So these cells, they undergo plasmatic growth. Meristematic cells, they undergo plasmatic growth, in the sense the protoplasm and all will be, for example, the cell when it divided, it was in the small size. After division, the thing which happens is the cells will grow in size and protoplasmic content will also grow. The protoplasmic content will also grow. Okay? The cell after its division, here it grows and along with it the protoplasmic growth will also be seen, that is the protoplasm, the content inside the cell will also grow. After growth, then the cell will again undergo cell division and produce new number of cells. The cells will undergo division and produce new number of cells. So this takes place till a few mass of cells are formed. That is a mass of cell is formed. Then those mass of cells will be differentiated. So in this process of differentiation, what happens? The cells, the newly formed cells will expand. It will undergo the process of expansion. That is, the cells will elongate. The cells will elongate. First, meristematic cells are produced. The zygote produces meristematic cells. These meristematic cells, they undergo plasmatic growth, that is, protoplasm will increase, and afterwards the cell will undergo division and produce new number of cells, many number of cells by continuously dividing. Then the divided cells, the newly formed cells, they will differentiate, that is, they will be given a special function. They will be given a special function to perform. Then, according to that function, the cells will elongate, and the cells will undergo, after elongation, the cells will undergo a process of maturation. The cells will undergo a process of maturation. We have seen all those things, how the cells, meristematic cells will grow, that is, and it will divide, then they will be getting differentiated. After differentiation, the cells will undergo a process of elongation, that is called as expansion. After it is expanded, after the cell is elongated, it becomes mature. That process is the process in which the cells become mature, is called as maturation. Now what we have after the cells undergo maturation? Now the cell is a mature cell. The cell is a mature cell, totally able to perform a function. The cells will divide. The divided cells will be given a specific function. To perform that function, these cells will undergo certain changes, said you, in the protoplasmic content as well as in the cell wall. The two major changes which cells undergoes is cell wall, changes in the cell wall, and protoplasmic content. So here then the cell, that is elongation process, will take place. The cells will mature. Then now the cell is mature, fully able to perform this function, the given function. Now this mature cell will perform the function. It will perform the function for a certain period of time, and after that another stage, the cell will enter into another stage, that is senescence. The plant will undergo into another stage, that is senescence, that is becoming old, becoming older. Cells divide, then get differentiated, then they become mature. They are able to perform the function. They will be performing functions for a certain period of time. It can be 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, depending on the type of plant it is. It will perform the functions for a certain period of time. Then that cell or the plant will become old. It undergoes a process of senescence, that is becoming older. And afterward becoming older, after certain time, the cell or the plant will die. So this is the whole representation of development, how the cells will grow, the cells will divide, grow, differentiate, the cells will become mature, then mature cells will perform function, then they become old, then after becoming old, ultimately they will die. The death of the plant or the cell will takes place. So this is the total sum of development. So here this development that includes changes an organism goes through its life cycle. Whatever the changes it is growing, dividing, then differentiated, getting differentiated, then maturing, then performing function, then again becoming older, then again after certain period of time it will die. This is the whole life cycle. So whatever a plant or a cell undergoes, changes undergoes during its life cycle, this whole changes is termed as development. The whole changes is termed as development. Here the plants, certain plants should different pathways in response to environmental conditions. Certain plants shows different pathways, that is they show different type of growth according to the environmental conditions in different phases of their life. In different phases of their life, certain plant shows different structures. When the plant is in juvenile condition, the juvenile stage, the structure of leaf will be different. And when the plant becomes older, mature, when the plants become mature, the structure will be different. So these changes in the structure is because of the environment. So the phases, that is the response to the environment in different phases of life. In juvenile phase, the response of the plant is different, and in mature plant, that phase, the response will be different. That is, they produce in juvenile stage, the structure will be different, and in mature stage, the structure will be different. For example, we see in coriander, cotton, buttercups. So coriander, we have seen this, kothmir. Here, when it is in juvenile phase, the structure of the leaf will be somewhat like this, smaller. The structure of leaf will be smaller. Juvenile phase means vegetative phase, developing. So when the leaf is in juvenile phase, the structure will be different. And when it becomes older, this is the juvenile phase. When the leaves are in juvenile phase, this structure will be like this. But when the leaves becomes mature, the structure will become like this at maturity. During juvenile phase, this is one phase of life and this is another phase of life. Depending on the environmental conditions, here in juvenile phase, the structure formed is different, and in mature phase, the structure formed is different. This is also leaf, this is also leaf. But during different phases, the leaves are making different structures. The leaves are formed in different structures. So this is one structure which is in juvenile phase, and this is the structure which we see when the plant matures or when the leaf matures. So different stages, the organs or the plants will show different structures during different phases of life. During different phases of life, they show different response. They show different response. That is, they show different structures. So that ability of a plant to have different structures in different phases of life depending on the environmental conditions, that is called as plasticity. The ability of a plant to form different structures. The ability of a plant to form different structures in different phases of life. That is, in juvenile phase, the structure will be different, and in mature phase, the structure will be different. Both of them are leaf. So this ability of a plant to have different structures of organs in different phases of life, that ability is called as plasticity. That ability is called as plasticity. And here heterophilia, this is example is here heterophilia is in juvenile phase, the structure is different, and in mature phase the structure is different. So this is called as heterophilia. Hetero means different. Different structures in different phases. Different structures in different phases is called as heterophilia. Different structures in different phases is heterophilia. So this heterophilia, the ability of a plant to have heterophilia according to environmental conditions, then that is called as plasticity. Changes in the structure in different phases, this is called as heterophilia, and the ability of a plant to undergo these changes according to the environmental conditions, then it is called as what? Plasticity. It is called as plasticity. So this was all about development. In the next class, we will see what are the things inside factors which helps the plants to grow, which helps the seeds to germinate. We have seen how growth takes place, how development takes place. We have even seen this diagrammatic representation of growth and differentiation. Together is called as this growth, and differentiation together is called as development. Now, apart from this, what are the different factors, inside factors, which helps in the development of a plant? Which helps in the development of a plant. That is, we have plant growth regulators. The next class we will see about plant growth regulators.